Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick from Nick Exposed. Before we get into today's 2-Minute Tuesday topic, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's jumped on over at patreon.com and has shown the channel some love. We have 11 backers so far. We've almost hit our first goal of $100 a month. I've been enjoying connecting with this community and just sharing some like exclusive thoughts with this community, and I look forward to doing so much more with you guys. So I do have an idea of picking one Patreon a month and really kind of showcasing them over on Instagram and sharing some of their work and doing different things to help highlight them as well. So that way I'm partnering with the Patreon community and it's not just you guys partnering with me. But anyways, if you want to check that out, it's patreon.com/NickExposed. Going into today's 2-Minute Tuesday topic, I was really thinking through probably one of the absolute #1 things, if not the most important thing, when it comes to selling our artwork. And selling it could mean multiple different things. Selling it could be presenting work to an audience and you want them to buy into who you are, or it could legitimately be selling it as a good. People are giving you money and then you're giving them stuff. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about, I'll start off this way. I come from a graphic design background, and doing different branding and helping people with their branding and different associations around that. We think of branding in terms of visual response. We think of Apple as in the Apple logo. We think of Windows as in the Windows logo. We think of all these different things, McDonald's and Burger King and everything. We tend to think about it within the Burger King mode, the King and the Whopper and all the different logo and branding that goes with it. But if you think about it, if you actually think about the way that you think about McDonald's, the way that you think about Burger King isn't anything to do with the golden arch. It's nothing to do with the Whopper, whatever Burger King's. I don't eat fast food that much, so I don't really know what their branding is about. But if you think about it, it's not so much about what their logo is. It's about what you felt and what you experienced the last time you ate Burger King or McDonald's, or the last time you purchased an Apple product, or the last time you had to go in and get a repair for an Apple product. These are the things that you think about within branding. Branding isn't so much about the visual representation as much as it is the emotional cue that happens when somebody thinks about a brand. If you take that concept and you move it over to the marketing side of our work, our photography, it's going, so much of our work is based on not the equipment that we shoot, not even the visual aesthetic of the shot that we're giving or the book or whatever it is that we're presenting, the exhibition. We've talked about it all in the past. But it's how does these things make people feel when they see them? It's an emotional response. We've talked about it a little bit in some live streams, and I've given out some nuggets on how to sell more work in the past, but it's really about building an emotional response. And in artwork, it's especially important because artwork isn't typically purchased for any utilitarian or, it's not like putting a piece of artwork on the wall is going to fix a house. It could make a space a little bit more bright and airy or dark and gloomy or whatever it might be, but it's offering an emotion to that space. It's offering an emotion to the person that's purchasing. When we give our work and we start to build an emotional response, or we offer work that automatically gives an emotional response to people, it makes it that much easier for them to buy into what it is that we're selling. I'm going to give a couple different examples. One of them is from back in 2014. Emily and I did a wedding, and back then I was starting to film into the wedding flow and the whole workflow. So at this particular wedding, I shot all of the bridal formals on film. So I had nothing to send them as a sneak peek except for I had pulled out my phone and I had taken one shot of the couple with my phone and I edited it on, I don't know, VSCO or whatever it was back then. I'm pretty sure it was like VSCO. So I took this shot with my iPhone, I edited it on VSCO, and we sent them a picture that night and just said, hey, it was great photographing you guys. Happy honeymoon. We look forward to talking to you guys when you get back. They were going on like a world trip, like honeymoon. They were gone for like, I don't know, 2 months or something like that. So by the time they got back, we had gotten all the film back, we had gotten all the images back around, and we had everything to present to them. So we presented to them. And they email us back immediately and they go, the images look great, but you're missing one photo. We didn't find the photo in there that we were looking for. And I was like, what's the photo that you're looking for? And they were talking about the photo that I'd taken on my phone and sent it to them. They expected it to be offered with the rest of the package. So I was just laughing. I had to pull it off my phone. I put it in the, I didn't want to tell them that it was taken with the phone. They should have known. I mean, they've seen me take it. But anyway, so I send it over to them. And the prints that they purchased were of that photo. I had amazing shots taken with my Mamiya 645 that I absolutely loved. And then here's a phone shot taken with my iPhone, probably the 5S at the time. And they were just excited about it. And the reason was that was the photo that traveled with them. As they traveled around the globe, as they went to all these different places that they went to, they would pull out that photo and show them from the wedding day. So they built this emotional connection to it, to where out of all of the images, it wasn't a terrible image, it just wasn't the best, and it wasn't even close to being the best. But at the same time, they had an emotional connection to it that raised it and elevated it above every other image that we had delivered. That was their absolute favorite image from their wedding day. Ironically, kind of funny. I want to switch gears over to talking about a different form of artwork. So Emily, if you know my wife, she does amazing, amazing artwork. She's in a lot of ways a much better artist than I. You can find her at emilyrosemayo.com or at emilyrosemayo on Instagram. But a while back, she had done these large drawings of individuals. And typically when you're showing drawings of individuals, you don't expect anybody that doesn't know the person to really purchase a piece like that. But she was shown in a show down in North Carolina to where the show had finished, the works got shipped back to her, but we got an email a few months later from the curator that said that somebody had come back and had gone to the show originally and had this emotional response to one of the pieces. It was actually a picture of a guy sitting in a chair, I believe, but it reminded the guy that was looking at the picture of his mother. So he wanted to purchase the piece. And this wasn't a cheap piece by any means. It wasn't like crazy, crazy expensive, but it was also not cheap by any means. And here's a person that he has absolutely no idea who it is. He has absolutely no idea what the background to the story is. But at the same time, there's an emotional response to the image that brought him to a place where he wants to make the purchase. So I wanted to talk about these stories, not for the sake of the stories themselves, but for the idea of realizing what emotional responses could actually do inside of people. I just want to say, if you're selling zines, if you're selling works for people's walls, if you're trying to sell an exhibition or whatever it might be, to start thinking about how people are going to respond emotionally and start understanding that it's the emotional responses that cause people to make the purchasing decision. And that's not a bad thing. It's not playing off of people's emotions. Art itself is supposed to be an emotional response. If they're responding because they just felt joy when they looked at a piece, I can be pretty sure that every single time they look at that piece when it's up on their wall, it's going to continue to give them joy. That couple that wanted the print of the iPhone shot of their wedding day, every time they look at that, they still have the emotional response. They could care less if it's the best quality image or if it's the worst quality image. They still respond to the emotional just thing that's happening there. So I wanted to throw this out to you guys and just really get this conversation rolling. We're gonna have to have the conversation all in the comments down below. I'm not gonna be able to do a live stream later on today. I need an afternoon of rest, and I still wanted to get this video out to you guys, but I will be taking this afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, off and just kind of relaxing, or actually probably more so helping Emily with her exhibition that she's putting together right now. So I do need this afternoon off, but I will be jumping down in the comments down there and just continuing this conversation on with you guys. I love to hear what you guys are thinking on this. What is it that you're trying to emotionally connect with people? Have you ever considered this? And what's this do with the way that you present your artwork? I'm sure we're gonna dive into this a bit more in future episodes, but I look forward to having this conversation with you guys. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out the rest of the videos. We got tons of tutorials. We have all sorts of stuff on thinking about our artwork and just these types of videos of really sitting down and mulling over bigger concepts than just gear, than just, composition and all that kind of stuff. That stuff's not bad, but this stuff will take our work to a completely different level. So I look forward to having you guys be a part of the conversation as well. So like and subscribe down below. And then once again, thank you to everyone who's joined on Patreon. I've been really enjoying the conversation that we're having over there. So I look forward to having more of those conversations with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments down below. Until the next episode, go and push yourselves 2 stops. Peace.